Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, wherever you're watching. I hope you're having a good one. My paper that I chose to just report on is here. I'll just skip to past go here. Go, 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 go. Okay, there we go. It's called Evaluating Human Coyote Encounters in an Urban Landscape using Citizen Science. It's by D. Drake and S. Dubay, and it does focus on obviously wildland urban interactions with coyotes. So let's delve into it, right? Urban coyotes. So they have a wide home range naturally. They are generalists, which definitely helps that. And they began colonizing urban areas again in like the 1900s. Um, but North America is covered up with them. You're familiar with them. We all know them, right? So the historical and current range maps, here they are. Again, their historical range was more in the American West, but as you get later into the 1960s and 1970s, they essentially have the range of the entirety of North America, which fuels this issue. Our study site for this specific study was Madison, Wisconsin. I think that was a great study site because there's a high urban wildlife population there. There's plenty of coyotes in that area. Um, it's located in Dade County, Wisconsin, and the population is 260,000 people. This study site did include the University of Wisconsin-Madison campus, which is definitely good. Wildland-urban interface in North America. So, due to the urban sprawl and habitat loss that we're currently experiencing in North America, many wild species definitely are finding themselves closer and closer to human interactions and human interfaces in general. Um, Foraging definitely is increasing amongst tons of wild species, as we all know. But with coyotes, this can be particularly dangerous in the realm of domestic pets. So, why did I choose the study personally? This study area includes neighborhoods, parks, and natural spaces within Madison, which is wonderful because there's definitely a difference between parks and yards and cities and towns and the suburbs, right? This study site definitely included it all, and I think that that's really good for representing a larger scale of urban wildlife interactions. This study also does use open source software, which is, I think, really interesting. It We'll get into it later, but it's really good. You self-report, and they just take the data and enter it and analyze it, which is efficient in my opinion. Um, the questions that they included in the self-report um, were: do you have a domestic dog with you? Would you rate this interaction as aggressive? Did the coyote see you? And if the coyote saw you, did it back away? Just generally just trying to get a gist of what the interaction itself was. And again, I think this is a solid study. I think they definitely did it the right way and in the right area. So, behavior of urban coyotes, this is a wildlife behavior class, so this makes sense. The desensitization of wild animals, that's definitely a problem, right? Nobody likes raccoons going through their trash in the middle of the night. But again, close proximity to yards and roads and increased interaction with domestic animals, particularly for these coyotes, that negatively impacts the vision of conservation. And that also is a safety concern, not only for humans and their pets that surround them, but also for these animals in and of themselves. Because, again, getting run over, we see roadkill, that's not for conservation, right? So, findings and implications of this study, again, this is a really good one. The summary of all of their findings, which definitely it occurred between October 2015 and March of 2018. There were almost 400 citizen science reports, again, through iNaturalist, um, of these human coyote encounters within our study site, right? So the majority of these, though, interestingly enough, were reported as non-aggressive. Um, so 90% of encounters were low or no aggression. Then why is this happening, right? If they're not coming into our areas to hunt for food, what are they doing? Well, the majority of these encounters were during breeding season, actually, and that's from obviously December to March. The whole idea behind this, right, is that coyotes are not coming to hunt your dogs. Coyotes are not coming to hunt you. They're foraging. And when you leave trash out or when they find litter on the side of the road, what have you, that is a positive feedback loop for them. And they learn to come to these places and live essentially in an urban environment because they don't have to hunt and it's easy pickings, right? So this definitely suggests that coyotes are their adaptability, we all know because their home range is huge, that they're super versatile. And this is definitely a problem for us, even if the majority of these interactions were docile. So, again, just to highlight coyote aggression, that's not really the point of this study. They weren't really demonizing coyotes like a lot of folks tend to. While it is a safety concern for people and pets, it's more of a safety concern for the coyotes themselves. And in the realm of conservation, I think that's why this behavioral issue is an issue in the first place. Um, Again, 90% scoring a level of zero. So zero aggression, they're just minding their own business, but they're desensitized to people, they're desensitized to buildings and lights and all sorts of things that they should not be around. The future implications of this study are bright. Urbanization is not going away, and neither are coyotes, we hope. So, findings of this study definitely emphasize that urban environments are resulting in bolder individuals. This is not unique to coyotes, but this is a very, very common theme across North America with coyotes in totally different cities. Knoxville, Tennessee's the world's worst. So this is a very good representative study. On a large scale, avoidance, outreach, education. We need to teach avoidance. We need to teach don't interact, don't feed. Um, that's what's going to fuel conservation efforts for wild species in the future, and especially for coyotes in the future, as wildland urban interactions, you know, increase because they're always on the rise. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed the paper, and I hope you have a great rest of your night.